And welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ishrat Nazmi. I'm a procurement specialist with Connecticut Apex Accelerator, or CT Apex, formerly known as Connecticut PTAC. Thank you for taking the time to join us for today's webinar, Introduction to CONNEX Connecticut. This Apex Accelerator is funded in part through a cooperative agreement with the Department of Defense. Matching funds are provided by Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development, or DECD. Our host agency is Southeastern Connecticut Enterprise Region, or sector. During this presentation, all attendees are muted, and your questions will be answered at the end of this presentation. The session material will be emailed to you after the presentations. So we will have a Q&A session at the end. Be sure to submit your questions in the Q&A box. Connecticut Apex provide assistance with education and resource, easing the perplexity of government contracting for our clients. We assist with federal, state, and local government registrations and certifications, including state and federal socioeconomic certifications. Connecticut Apex help clients with market research, with procurement histories, identifying bid opportunities, preparing bid proposal, one-on-one counseling, creating government-friendly capability statements, and bid matching. Connecticut Apex has 5 office locations throughout Connecticut, which includes Hartford, East Hartford, Rocky Hill, Milford, and our headquarters in Groton, Connecticut. You can follow us at CT Apex on social media, including Facebook and LinkedIn. In addition to registering online at ctptac.org, where you can sign up for government contracting assistance and also access our learning library for various webinars on a variety of topics in regards to government contracting. Connecticut Apex is pleased to introduce a new tool for manufacturers in Connecticut. In this webinar, you will learn about CONNEX Connecticut and how it can help your business. We will also have a live demonstration. At the end, you will have the opportunity to ask questions. I am thrilled to introduce today's presenter, Bernice Zampano. Bernice managed the CONNEX Connecticut Supply Chain Solutions database, directing customer engagement efforts, including building relationships with manufacturers, suppliers, stakeholders, as well as government entities. She also maintains the CONNEX Marketplace portal, designed to connect manufacturers to resource and expertise across the state, provide supplier lists to Connecticut partners, and identify gaps in Connecticut manufacturing industry community. Bernice has over 3 decades of experience working for the Connecticut Department of Labor, where for the last several years, she managed the Manufacturing Innovation Funds, incumbent worker training programs in collaborations with Connecticut Department of Economic and Community Development. She also has extensive background working with state manufacturers on marketing, business development, grant writing, contract management, and project coordinations. Bernice has a Bachelor's of Arts Communication Science degree from the University of Connecticut. She also earned supervisory skills and project management certifications from the Capital Community College. So without further ado, let's welcome Bernice. Hello, Bernice.
Hi, thank you very much for the great introduction. If you can advance the slides for me, please. Thank you. So a little bit of the background for CONNEX Connecticut. This is a supply chain platform that we were lucky to have funded by the Manufacturing Innovation Fund and the Office of Manufacturing through Paul Lavoie at the government's office. Can you please advance the slide? So it's part of the National Supply Chain Platform, and it was developed by I5 Services out of Utah, a manufacturing solutions company, and it is currently free. CONNEX Connecticut is currently free to all Connecticut manufacturers until March of 2025. again, through this generous sponsorship of the Office of the Chief Manufacturing Officer. Connecticut is licensed and administered by CONNEX. It's who I work with. Next slide, please. So what can I do with CONNEX Connecticut? First of all, you can connect to manufacturers and other manufacturing suppliers in a searchable supply chain database. You can market through your profile and showcase your company's capabilities to other OEMs, and including some of the national level DOD or EPA or other entities that are working on Build America, Buy America products. And we can talk a little bit more about that when we go through the demonstration, and I can show you our exchange center. You can grow by finding new business opportunities and partners and make long-term relationships. We've already started to see that. We launched in February. We've had some companies that are now on the new supplier list for Northrop Grumman in an aerospace company in Utah, as well as on the supply chain list for the Air Force, also in Utah. So these are new connections that haven't been made before through the CONNEX marketplace. Next slide, please. So how does that help me? You can find alternative suppliers, or you could be an alternative supplier. For example, we had a Connecticut company recently who had a supplier in Texas for a machine part, but once they received the part, they still had to do some more work on it. So they decided to put the actual opportunity on our CONNEX system. They received over 4 different quotes from other Connecticut companies, and a Connecticut company actually won the PO. And that was like $100,000 worth of orders just 15 miles away. So we have 2 happy customers using CONNEX that they met on our supply chain platform. So what happens also on CONNEX is you can view your supply chain and your customers. You can see needs and posts from other manufacturers in Connecticut. You can find others by searching thousands of state manufacturers using filters, and to find companies with products and services that match your specific needs. As I mentioned before, it's free for Connecticut companies to match up with other Connecticut companies. This is a national database. There is a fee if you wanted to match up with the national site, but usually I tell people, get the free one first, and I'll usually check to see if there's any opportunities, and I do my own search, and I'll try to contact you if it's something that that you might fit. Next slide, please. So this is kind of a sneak peek of the Exchange Center. I'll show you on the live demo what it looks like. And as you see, there is a variety of different opportunities listed on here by the organization and the type, if it's an RFP, RFI, RFQ, or scouting. And we can certainly talk about that. All of those national scouting ones are available to companies that only have the Connecticut access. So you don't have to get the national access to get those listings as well. So you can search thousands of Connecticut manufacturers and find a perfect supplier for your needs. You can also use that site to do your own search. For example, I will do a demo a little bit later, but if you say, I need a company with this particular NAICS code, you can do a search specifically for that as well. And you can expand it, the search nationally, and suppliers across the US if you have the national access. Next slide, please. So some of the successes we have, of course, when I put this slide together, we had 470. Now we have about 475. Connecticut manufacturers that are currently listed with a profile. There's some others that are listed, but they haven't had their profile completed yet. It's very easy to connect. We've had over 139 either submitted a response for an RFI, RFQ, RFP, or scouting. And again, this was when I put this together last week. Now it's about 150. We've had made about 15 connections with OEMs to be put on their new supplier list. I mentioned earlier the Air Force, also Northrop Grumman. We also are working, I just got off a call with Stanley Black & Decker to try to build those as well. So we are trying to build a comprehensive network using the CONNEX platform. These are long-term relationships with buyers and suppliers, and right in our own state or even beyond. One thing that I'm proud of is that this particular platform is very user-friendly, that you can actually, now it's a new feature that you can actually do an in-app messaging if you have a question for someone. If you're just looking for something and you don't really have an RFI yet or anything like that, you can still message through the app itself. We have partnerships with associations and others to collaborate for manufacturing solutions. We are working with Connecticut Apex, hopefully to, build our networks and make it a little bit stronger with having not only network, and understanding of what each other does, but actually referrals to both. So we can kind of help out all of the individuals and the companies that are on the platform. Next slide, please. So how do I get started? I think that these slides are going to be sent out after the webinar. You can just go to the website, and there's a link, and then you can request it for an account, and then you set it up. At that point, you can request to have a profile, and at that point, I would have to make sure that you are vetted as a manufacturer and in Connecticut, and usually what happens is that I try to approve it within 24 hours, and then you can log in and complete your profile. After that, on our end, you can go in and you can build it up even further. We can talk a little bit more about the profile when I do the actual demo and what pieces are really important for the search engine to work for you. Next slide, please. Oh, okay. I think that it's time for me to do a demo. And then after, okay. Okay, so this is what we call our splash page. And it's kind of like a universal Connecticut page. And this consists of both the individuals that have claimed their profile, those 475 that I mentioned, as well as some of those that have not done so yet. And we can kind of do the breakout of some of the companies that we're seeing. And you can do this search. If you notice on this gray side, we have different entities here. Connecticut only has manufacturers listed. And then after, if we scroll down on this side, we can do it by town. So you can kind of narrow it down, and you can kind of say, I want to know everybody in Bristol. You can do it by zip code. You can do it by industry, equipment, processes, materials, products, services, and SBA programs as well, and NAICS codes. One thing that I just want, and SIC codes, and it goes all the way down. One thing I want to demonstrate for you is why it's really important to have a full profile. what I do is I usually do it for plastics. Now I'm looking at a national platform and a Connecticut company pops up. So this is one of the reasons why I think it's really important that that people make sure that they highlight their business as fully as possible. You don't have to do it in a day, but it is really important for that. So this particular company has listed all the industries that they work on, the NAICS code that they work on, product families, as well as service families that they work on as well, and different capabilities that they have. And I'm just going to stroll down, fairly quickly. The contacts are very important because this is how people get in touch with you. So if you notice up at the top, there's this little conversation bubbles. And this is a new feature that you can send a message directly to them. And that's something that I think is very, very important, that you have a contact person that it goes to if somebody wants to reach you. If, for example, we wanted to do a search for CNC. Okay. And you notice, again, this is the national site. We want to look at Connecticut. We have 105 that have that. And some of them have it in their name, and some of them might have it in their equipment. So again, I think that it's really important that you highlight your business accordingly. So I'm going to show you the Exchange Center at this time. This is our Exchange Center, and this is as of today. So some of the ones that are going to expire soon, there's an expiration date. So this is going to expire in the next couple of days. And these are from the NIST Supplier Scouting. So this is something that is part of the national network called the Manufacturing Extension Partner. There's one in every state. CONSTEP is the one for Connecticut. And we all group together and we post these in hopes that we can find a Connecticut company, or actually, national, but at least in a Connecticut company in order to fulfill this need. So this particular listing, it has all the requirements, and it also has some examples of JPEGs as well as an Excel spreadsheet, for companies to take a look at to see if they would want to follow up with this. There is a distribution feature on here, and what happens is that it has a distribution that went out to 92 companies that had based on NAICS codes. So these are something that as you're building your profile, you really want to understand that this is a platform in which the search engines work in a couple of different ways. They look at your about statement under keywords, they look at NAICS codes, and they also want to make sure that you have the contact information, or else you will not get the information in your inbox on your, saying that you matched up to a potential opportunity. So these are all of the responses that we have, and we've gotten quite a few. So, some of them are from Connecticut as well. And so that is what we have. I'll be happy to take questions. I think that there's a question and a question and answer.
Thank you, Bernice. Yes,
okay,
go ahead. Go ahead.
The question is, do you have to be a Connecticut manufacturer, or can you be a Connecticut company that works with Connecticut manufacturers to provide services and possibly buy supplies from manufacturers for resale? Because this is funded by the Office of Manufacturing, We have limitations that they have to be Connecticut manufacturers. We do have some companies that have a secondary manufacturing code on the Secretary of the State site. So, you know, if you have that, or if you want to get that and you want to let me know, you know, who you are, I can send you the link on how to do that. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that.
Well, thank you, Bernice. That
You're
was a
welcome.
great presentation, and we're still waiting for some few more questions. If you could see it, oh, there, coming up.
Okay, yeah, okay, all right. So if we are from Connecticut Advertising Agency looking to help manufacturers and products, this would not be for us then. Unfortunately, not at the moment. It might expand in the future, but at the moment, we're just accepting manufacturing companies. And the next question is, how does CONNEX differ from other similar platforms? That's a very good question, actually. I know that there's a lot of other platforms that are out there, and you know, there's other states that are running on different platforms as well. One thing about the CONNEX platform is that how you get sorted is based on what you enter as your capabilities. It's not how much you pay, so you don't float to the top because of this, you know, like how much you sponsor, you know, the sponsorships or anything like that. It's based on Connecticut companies, Connecticut manufacturing companies, and it works in a way to try to bring the community together in order to make this something that is worthwhile. And right now it's free. So that's something that, you know, we can kind of hang our hat on right now. Okay, let me see. There's a lot of other questions coming up. Okay. Does company need to be registered? Company only needs to be registered with the Secretary of the State office, so we can vet to make sure that you guys are a manufacturing company. The cost of CONNEX Connecticut is currently free of charge until March of 2025 to connect with other Connecticut companies. If you choose to do the national access, it's $500 a year or $50 a month. So that is, you know, something that is your choice. As I mentioned before, all of the MEP, the NIST MEP opportunities that are listed, Connecticut individuals can view those with just the Connecticut access, as well as the other Connecticut access opportunities listed. I'm not sure if I understand the question about what is your recommendation for building relationship with buyers and industry partner within the platform.
I guess what, you know, what people would be interested in is, you know, as they interact within the platform, is there certain ways you can create your profile or interact with buyers and industry partners that would, you know, really build a relationship?
The thing is that the point of the platform is to start building relationships. It's not really a way for you to advertise yourself and do a mass blast, you know, to all of these companies and saying, hey, I can do work for you. But, you know, you can certainly take a look at what is available for exchange, you know, like for opportunities, and you can submit your information to them, you know, to help build their need, as well as building your relationship as well.
And then, and regarding the following question, the follow-on questions is that, does this platform help manufacturers be informed of the industry trend, industry trends, or any challenges? Like, if there is there in platform that there's published in industry trends or informations regarding the supply chain?
We don't really have a lot of data in it right now. I know that CONSTEP is, on a separate note, is working on finding gaps in Connecticut, if that's what they mean. So we are working on that. And, we are hoping that we can kind of take a look at what the trends are based on what the exchange center is, posting, like what people are posting on the exchange center.
Okay. And does Federal Prime utilize the database as well?
We have had some, like we do have some primes listed on here. We do, through the NIST MEP, have had requests from the Air Force and the Navy, as well as other entities like the EPA. We're working with the state offshore wind group that, is coming to Connecticut to work as well. So we are working with them also. And as far as federal buyers and industry partners, I think that through the national MEP network, we are working with them as well. So we're working on expanding that. And like I said, we have had conversations to build that network too.
Could you please elaborate a little bit more on, is there cost involved in viewing federal opportunities? Or is this, the cost-free portion is only related to the state opportunities?
Usually, no, so the federal opportunities that are listed are going to be part of the NIST MEP. So they're going to be viewed. You will be able to be viewed. Sometimes and if the Navy were, let's say, to call me, I would post it on their behalf. So, you would be able to see that. So some of these federal opportunities that come in, they would be viewed. And if you're listed on there, I usually look at those exchange posts and I do my own search. So I will check and I will send you an email and say, did you see this? I don't know if this fits, but you may want to take a look at this. So we are trying to build relationship with that as well.
Okay. And people always want to know how secure is their information when they're using a platform.
Yes, I understand that. It's secure with the platform, with the CONNEX marketplace. Now, we work with cybersecurity all the time. So, we follow those, I want to say, the parameters for that.
Okay. I guess the same person has asked, can you access CONNEX if you pay a fee, even if as a non-manufacturer?
Unfortunately, not at this time. So, yeah, not at this time, unfortunately. We are just looking to fill it with manufacturing companies. At this moment, I believe that there might be there might be other sites, like other states, that might have other things like workforce or research and development, but at this time Connecticut does not have that.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, Bernice, and this has been a very informative session. I do want to mention that Connecticut Apex has a complimentary service called the Bid Match, where we can create a business profile for our clients. The software will go and find matching bids that matches your product and service, and this service is absolutely at no cost. Once we build the profile, and you will receive emails with open solicitations, and so that is also a great service that the Connecticut Apex provide,
Yes.
which is complement. And we are really pleased to partner with CONNEX and CONSTEPS, and we're looking forward to building relationships where we can really partner with many events and build a relationship with the manufacturing community in Connecticut.
Yes, and feel free to contact me if you have any questions at all. And if you know, if you're in need or you're not sure, or if you would like us to do a one-on-one session, you know, to help build your profile, we can do that too.
Okay, so again, thank you everyone, and this concludes our presentation. Thank you everyone for joining us today for another exciting and informative webinar with the Connecticut Apex Accelerator. Thank you again, Bernice. Valuable presentation.
Yeah, anytime.
And this has been a very informative for our audience. If you have further questions regarding today's topic, feel free to contact York City Apex counselors, and we will be happy to assist you with any further questions. And don't miss out on our upcoming webinars. November 14th, prepare for the Supplier Connection Summit and Matchmaker. November 21st, join us for an Innovation and SBIR STTR training webinar. Please visit the Connecticut Apex Accelerator calendar page to sign up for all our upcoming events and workshops. You can also find Connecticut Apex training video library at ctptech.org. And again, this has been wonderful, and thank you, Bernice. Thank you, everyone.
Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.